Welcome to Double Dose of Raw Talk Podcast, your weekly dose of many discussions and opinions, a show where we get comfortable being uncomfortable. And remember, no topic is off limits. Now let's talk about it.
All right. Oh my God, we're back. All right. Welcome back, guys, to another week and another episode on Double Dose of Raw Talk Podcast. Finally, a video with guests. Oh, wait. This is the first time I have you both at the same time. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It just hit me. Why did it just hit me? I don't know.
Going
it must
up.
be the wine.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Going up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. Okay. This shit just got real. All right. Well, guys, we have guests today, and I'm super excited. They have been here on the Double Dose of Raw Talk pod platform in the past separately, and today I've been on their show. Hold up.
Yes. Let the people know.
I've been on their show, Dope Ass Show. You know, I already tag everything in the notes. So you're gonna go see, follow, subscribe. Is it subscribe, follow, whatever, whichever one it is, do it
Follow.
and hit those downloads and start listening. Without further ado, we have here today Red Cup Confidential Podcast. Welcome, guys.
Hey.
Thank you for having us. What's going on?
I'm excited to be here.
I love it. I swear. It's a whole vibe today. This is it. That's it. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well,
We're here.
we're going to dive right in.
Yes.
Because if there is one thing the RCC pod knows, is the music and the mess.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All day, every day. And what better way to kick off? First of all, the first episode with a guest after like such an on and off relationship I've been having with this podcast, right?
Yes, I noticed that.
I have. I'm gonna like come back.
Okay.
You know, I released an episode just explaining a little bit more of what it's been like, but there's just like so many changes going on, good ones, really good ones.
That's good.
And I've just needed a little bit of adjusting. You know, listen, I don't own a car. I'm about to, God willing. But yes, we're doing big things here. So God willing. But what's that thing you got to take the car to do? Alignments and shit.
Oh,
right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's what my life has needed. Just a little bit of realignment, you know, here and there. You know, we've been changing routes, paths, and so on. So
transitions.
we've needed a little bit of alignment. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I was gonna say something else, but that sounds a little inappropriate for me to say it because you could think of it in a different way. Like I was gonna say change the oil, but girl, that don't sound right. So I'm not gonna say that.
I mean, you
do
could do a little oil change, you know, change the oil. We love that.
Well, you gotta check it first.
Well, maybe your oil might be low, babe. We don't know.
True. You're right. So we gotta do the oil too. All right, but it's good to be back, and it's good to be back with you both. Just because I fucks with y'all. That's it. There's no other way to say this.
Right back at you, babe.
Period.
And I needed an enjoyment for today. I did because I have some shit to say. I have some shit to talk about. It's just too much. It's just too much, guys. And we're gonna kick it off with Raw Mess of the Week, where we discuss something that is hot and raw off the press and or about life. And we're gonna serve this on a double dose of messy. Okay.
All right.
We have, you already know, I always refer back to something that's going on in the real world, right? Because the regular, smuggler people go through that same shit too, right?
Right.
But there's a certain individual that's been hot in the press today, lately, social media. Actually, there's two.
Okay.
One, I've been scrutinizing him for quite some time here on Double Dose of Raw Talk. Okay. I think my listeners and part of you guys know exactly who the fuck it is.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Nick Cannon.
Of course, you know, he's like,
Nick Loose Cannon.
Wow.
Loosey goosey.
He's like, you know what oh my God, his penis is like the shit that they use at the circus for everybody. Just, when the cat.
Oh, the ring thing.
Yeah, that one. It just goes.
People just,
it's like that. Yeah, it's him. It's all the way him.
Oh my God. That's a good.
What the hell? What the hell is that? I'm confused.
The thing that they hold up and the people be like jumping through.
The hoop?
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
I wasn't a
He's
fan of
at
the
full force
circus.
now. No. Well, here's the thing. Okay, so I want to dive into the conversation with him because I have several thoughts about him. But then I also want to hit it off with a little somebody who just made the messy news. I saw a little something the other day. I don't know if it's fully verified, but I want to talk about Nick and Neo. Neo, there was first of all, court tweets. First of all, there was an article I saw somewhere that said he has basically exchanged married life to have several women because he wants to like have several wives, several partners. I think it's like 4 of them or something, and he wants them to have his babies or some shit like that. And whether that's verified or not, right? Because it could just be rumors, right? It could just be like your little tabloid bullshit, right?
Yeah.
Or it's very possibly truthful, like we're seeing the whole shit with Nick, right?
Yeah.
I want to bring it back to a little piece of conversation that's been happening in the real world today. And that's this so-called unrealistic expectation of people wanting monogamy and fidelity. And the real question I want to address on this Raw Mess of the Week is do they go hand in hand? Is fidelity the same as being monogamous? Food for thought, right? Food for thought. And I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
Because the fidelity piece is, oh my God, you were unfaithful and I had no idea you did this behind my back, right?
Yeah.
But then there's the understanding of whether we're going to accept being in a monogamous relationship and when does it become, non-monogamous, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't want to define it automatically to what it is going to be. There's so many other types of relationships, right? But is it really just the understanding of the cheating and the fidelity piece, or is it the understanding of the monogamy? What I'm saying is it possible to cheat even when you're agreeing to not be monogamous?
Say that one more time.
Is it possible to cheat
even when you're agreeing,
even when you know you're not being monogamous?
It's a fine line, but I would say no.
Okay.
I'm gonna say no because if there's a conversation had beforehand, that's when the plural of monogamy, which is polygamy, comes into the conversation.
Right.
So I don't see it certain ways. So if we have a conversation about being open or being
on a break
or being in this quote unquote polygamous relationship, and you decide that the person that we're sharing together, you decide to go outside of that and not tell me, then I feel like that's a form of cheating. But if there's always a conversation about who you decide to bring in and out of the relationship, knowing that you're not going to be completely monogamous, I don't think that's cheating. But like I said, it can be.
It's a thin line. It's a thin line. Okay. The reason why I asked then, if we're accepting to go into
sorry,
if
my
we're
face.
accepting to go into is it polygamy?
Polygamy,
right? Am I saying it right? Okay, it's the one, y'all. If I'm accepting to go into that, then am I accepting everything else that comes along with it?
Absolutely not. Because you still
the
have
kids.
No.
See? Okay, so you see?
No.
There you go. That's the line.
Absolutely not. Because just because you are willing to be in something, there's rules to everything. And it's pretty much based on your perception of what this is to you and what it is to me. Not to give too much because Rima hates this when I say this, but niggas is going to cheat if they want to.
I don't hate when you say that because I agree.
No, I'm saying I was going to say
the next part.
Yeah, you know what I'm about to go.
Go ahead.
Because as a cheater back, a nigga's been cheated on, baby. If you, I'm gonna say it again, as a cheater back and a nigga that's been cheated on, if you stay, that's being complacent to what's happening. But if you vocalize to your partner, hey, this is a red flag for me or a no, and they still do that, that's not cheating, but it's definitely being dishonest. And if you can't be honest, we can't do this. Period.
Okay, so let's take it up a notch. I needed to talk about this. I really did
spicy.
because
Wow.
you know, unpopular opinions, unpopular conversation.
I mean,
some people don't even want to look at it, but the reality is, and that's what's going to take us into the next segment. But the reality is, it's a real world right now, and you know, I'm gonna take it all the way back to, you know, early episodes, midway episodes. I would say being someone who has liked to see other people,
yeah.
right? To perform in front of people.
Okay,
Shit, y'all know
performance.
what type of performance. Go listen to all the other episodes if you want to know.
Hey,
But I'm just saying. But I've always wanted to have the open mindedness with my future
Okay.
partner, that we can always revisit that if he never has, or revisit it, right?
Okay. Okay.
The reason why I bring this topic up, and if he listens, I hope he doesn't fucking kill me, and I'm not gonna say no names because we don't incriminate anyone in this show. Never have, never will, except
Baby.
agreed. Now,
tell us off the mic.
one of our old joints, not fucking, I'm gonna say it. One of my old joints, he and I were talking the other day.
Old joints.
We were.
Hey,
old joints.
We love an oldie.
Old joint.
Okay, we were. And this is where all of this thought process came to be for me, right? The whole just Nick going around, just creating a whole community of little Nick cannons, right? Neo trying to expand on the horizon, how many wives or children he may want, right? Who knows at this point if that's
Allegedly.
verified. Allegedly, right? I don't know yet. I'm still waiting to see if there's any other verification of this alleged thing.
Yeah.
But this friend of mine, who's essentially one of my exes, we were talking about, why does he cheat? Because he cheats, right? And we were discussing his reasons. We were discussing what is it that is missing for him. What does he need? Because at this point, it's like he's in a poly relationship, but his wife don't know, and there's just like multiple team players. And for me, it be yeah. And listen, I'm not incriminating nobody, but it just came to me, and it's like, you're staying for your kids. Is what you're saying you're staying for. You're saying she has no drive, like something's missing, you know, but she does take care of the home. She does do all these other things, but you need your thrill. You need this, it's like your ego stroked. You need all these other things. So here you are, and you're fucking up on the fidelity value because you're cheating. You're doing it behind her back. And yes, somewhere in your mind, you think it's okay, the idea of being non-monogamous, right? Being in polygamy type of scenario, right? And for me, it's like it becomes a factor of, this is essentially where our reality is heading, you know? This is where relationships are going. Relationships are going to have extra S's at the end for every team member of the relationship at this point, because it's getting that messy. And I call it messy because I think, even though we have an understanding, I mean, I say we because I'm not in a polygamous relationship, right? But I'm saying, just as humans, we may have the understanding of what something is. I think in the long run, there's always that little dose of jealousy, of a little bit of envy, maybe sometimes, or a little bit of selfishness that says, nah, fuck that shit. I don't want her to have him tonight. I want him to be with me, you know, or vice versa. And I think that, to a certain extent, because I asked him this question too, I said, so would you be okay if the tables were turned? And I still encounter too often the biased thought of, nah, she can't do it, but I can.
The double standard,
right?
Of it all.
Yes.
Right. It's still the double standard. And so for me, I wanted to be a little messy with it because, and this is where we're going to lead into the next segment, because we have famous people, famous men with following, their celebrity, their fame, public figures, singers, or, you know, what have you, producers, writers, etc. Right? And they are, at this point, it feels like they're showcasing their lifestyle through their newest album, their songs, or their talk show, or their show Wildin' Out, because they're wildin' out, so is their penis. Like, I mean, it feels like it's being showcased, right? And so on this segment now of As Far As It Gets, I want to touch the idealism of the lavish life and the idealism of the fame, and what falls under that. And is this one of those things that falls under that when it comes to relationships, aside from the success? What are your thoughts?
Very good. You're not. So I don't think it falls under that because, well, just for me, I can speak for other people, but I don't idolize anybody's relationship or like their goals.
I'd be
Just
lying to you if I
because,
said I didn't, but okay.
yeah, just because it's like we only see what you allow us to see.
Right.
Like if you post your partner, I don't post mine, but not that I have one, but if I did, when I did, it wasn't posted.
Right.
Because it was like, that's not what I want y'all to see. I want y'all to see me. Hey.
Okay. Okay.
But no, I don't think that's a part of it. It can be depending on how you look at it. It's like, it's a gray area there because people are like, money grants you access, should we say, to a certain group of things or men or women. Because some of the men that we're speaking about, some of the men may not be cute to you or me or we, nosotros.
Yeah.
See, Spanish.
Yeah.
But but money may make you a little bit more
palatable.
Yeah. Cause not for, I mean, maybe on a late night creep, I might be a little prone to
more inclined to dip.
Yeah, a little sneaky link with
whoever.
Raphael.
Whoever, don't say his name. Don't say his name.
He just saying somebody.
From Ninja Turtles. Raphael and shit, That's how he look, like a turtle.
I know.
He do.
He said that before. He did.
I mean,
I knew this. He said it before. It looked like him. So, okay. So, but here's my thing when it comes to that. And the reason why I say is because along with this whole world of non-monogamy, it seems to be something that a lot of people have commented, oh, this definitely falls under, the celebrity life. When somebody got money, there's going to be people all over them. And I don't know necessarily if that's the case because they have money or because they're famous. Is because they have so many flocking at them. For one, I want to say this. I think it's because of social media that we see these things happening now, right? Because many years ago, there was no social media. I grew up, right? My social media, I'm going to tell you what was my social media. I grew up coming home, doing my homework, sitting down with my parents, and we would watch Univision. And I knew all the mess because of the news, okay? And of course, I would sit down and watch the novelas with my parents. And, I would be informed of certain things from there. And that's when I found out if somebody was cheating, if somebody was being unfaithful to their wife. And you want to know how they did it? With the other starring person in the novela they were acting with, that was who the side piece was, right? Yeah. So that's when I remember certain things coming up. We didn't have this whole social media world where everything is just flashy and idealized or idolized. We didn't have all of these things in our faces. We also didn't have the text, the techie text that we have today where we could record somebody without them even realizing that we could do that to be able to have that as proof, right?
Right.
For me, it just becomes this, I feel like now it becomes a cop-out to say, oh, it's because they're famous that this happens. So technically speaking, they should get a pass. And I don't think that's what it is. Because I may never make it on TV. I may never make it as a public figure, let's say, that the whole world knows and I'm blue check verified. But I could be financially stable. I could be making that 6 figures that I am making today, right? I could be in that, I mean, I am, I'm not going to lie.
Okay.
I could be in that realm of success, right? Thank you. In that realm of success and have passion for what I do, right? But that doesn't necessarily excuse me to go cheat, to go have multiple partners behind my official partner's back, right? It doesn't give me that pass because in my world, I am that successful. I'm that known person. My name is out there in the specific industry where I'm at. Exactly. Right? I think that success does align with financial stability, right? And I mean, I could say now maybe we see if we're finding it more at the same time happening for a lot of people. I'm not sure if because I can make it into my level of success and my definition of fame, does that say that it applies to my relationships to get away with whatever the fuck I want?
I think a lot of let's just be real. that's in the industry, because that we see on social media, that's their thought process. He's making a lot of money. As long as I'm taken care of, he can do whatever he wants. They use that as the cop out to holding their person accountable for making a fool out of them. Like, oh, I don't care. He can do whatever he want to do. If I find out, I find out. If I don't, it don't matter because I'm being taken care of on the back end. No, baby.
Right.
No. I don't feel that way. But in the grand scheme of things, in the social media era, that's how it's played. You can see, for example, Young Miami and Diddy. The relationship is up and it's down.
Seesaw.
But you see him with other women, but she's like, you know what? When I get my time, I get my time. I don't want to. Who wants to fucking live like that? I know I don't. But it's like I said earlier, it's more palatable when a person has money or status, because you're like, all right, well, they got me, so it doesn't matter.
But on the flip side, not a lot of them, but most of the women, like she mentioned in Miami, they have money. And
true.
And a lot of the women are bossing up and have options as well. So it's like, not just famous or not, women already have options just on the cuff. Like, I know me and my people that I know, to my left, options, baby, options.
I love it.
I'm like, baby, what's going on? What do we do?
You ain't wrong.
I mean,
okay,
but
options, baby. But everybody is, has their own level of what they determine as success is. So in reference to like whatever your dating pool is, depending on how you date and what you're like, what you're looking for, you may not be looking for something serious. So if we're on this, I feel like if we're having a conversation, like most people are not really talking, they're just kind of like hanging out.
And that's what it goes back to. It goes back to conversation and communication. But go ahead.
Come on, 2 C's. Conversation and communication, because I feel like anything is possible with a conversation.
Yep.
And as long as we have good communication, we good.
Because you don't know what I'm going to say if you ask me. If we just have a talk, oh, I want to do such and such. Maybe you want to join me, or maybe
I might be with it, but I might not. So what? Not too motherfucking much.
Right.
Period.
Right. I think there's definitely levels to that too. I do think so. So okay, so now I wanna add another dose on it in the spirit of mentioning Diddy here. Then do we think, because I believe in this, is it truly more money, more problems? Do we think that? With what money attracts, with all that money brings, sure, we can live a more luxurious life. Sure, we can do certain things that we were not able to before, right? Sure, it could put us in a different tax bracket if we're paying our taxes. Hopefully we are. It could do plenty for us.
Shakira,
but then everything else that comes along with it, is it more money, more problems?
I would say yeah. Only because, as you mentioned, with the rise of social media, there's no veil of mystery. Like there's only a few celebrities who do it very well, where it's like we really don't know much about them. For example, Issa Rae. She got married. We were like, "What the fuck? You were engaged? How? How did you even? We didn't know that. What's going on? How did you even get? You had a fiance? How? When? How? Where? Why?" And it was kind of just like, when we seen her, kind of just pop out and just be like, "Hey, I'm married." It was like, okay. We were shocked, but we didn't say, "No, why you didn't tell us, girl?" Because we don't really know much about Issa unless she wants us to know. And as we say all the time on our show, we love Beyonce over here. Beyonce gives us the art, and we've only seen glimpses of her personal life because there were cameras when Solange beat Jay-Z ass on an elevator. But other than that, we wouldn't have known shit until we heard the album.
We had to bring that shit up, right?
Yeah,
we always listen. That will forever be
a classic, a moment.
A classic. I just also want everybody to know that growing up Latina, watching Univision and Telemundo, there was always a novela scene where somebody's sister or brother was fucking up somebody's spouse, either in the elevator or the stairways or something. And it was always because somebody was fucking cheating, okay? So when I saw that, I knew
Yeah, for
Solange caught his ass doing something. I knew it. When people were like, "Oh my god, I wonder why. Maybe she was drunk." No, she came for her sister's aid. She was like, "You're not fucking with my sister, and I'm gonna fuck you up." And shout out to that elevator footage.
Yeah,
because
Very
it
much
is
little sister
embedded
vibes.
in me.
For sure.
Definitely, I'm a little sister.
Me too, and I'm
people know what's up.
And do because my sister definitely gives Beyonce energy, and I definitely give Solange. I will beat your ass.
Oh my god, yes!
My sister
Patty. Shout out to Patty. She classier. She's yeah. Shout out to the older sisters, but yeah. Shout out to my sisters in laws too. They've learned.
Okay, in-laws.
They've learned. Her in-laws, they've learned not to mess with me. Or my sister. I mean, I'm gonna keep it real, and it's no secret. So if they're listening, let them listen. If somebody listens and wants to share the episode, tell them to download it, rate 5 stars, and then they could talk shit if they want to. But it's the reality. Anybody who knows me knows that I could fight with my siblings day in and day out, but nobody's fucking with my siblings. That's it. Point, period, blank. And I may need to like insert a Spanish translated disclaimer on this part of the episode. I don't know, for those of you who are wondering what the fuck I just said. But anyway, I'm just saying. Oh, I had to get that off my chest. Wow. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. I wanted to tie that in.
Okay.
I wanted to tie that in the entire success and, your passion and financial stability and doing what we want to do in our successes, but all the drama that sometimes can come with that. One of the things that triggered that conversation for me, and I wanted to align it since we're aligning my life, cars, and a whole bunch of shit here. I wanted to align it to the raw mess of the week was because, in getting this new opportunity, and I do say this with a lot of pride now.
Yeah.
It's me celebrating my wins. Yes, I'm a 6-figure chick because certain goals that I wanted to accomplish. Thank you. Certain goals that I wanted to accomplish, giving myself that deadline didn't happen realistically to that deadline, but it's not too late. And I can still make certain things happen if I stay focused, if I continue working as hard as I have. And I'm proud of it. I take pride in the passion that I still have in the space that I'm in still, and having a name to go with it, and have people see the same value that I know I've seen in me, knowing my worth for a very long time, right? And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I had to mention this to my mom. And I said to her, my mom and I, my mom was able to go back home. She's back now, but she was able to go to the motherland with my dad. So they had a good vacation. I was very happy. Every time they go to Ecuador, I'm just so happy for them. Unfortunately, and I think this is like the first time I'm saying this. I can't remember. But all the listeners know that during the pandemic, I lost 3 uncles. I had shared that previously a long time ago, to COVID. My mom was finally able to go take her brother, his ashes to Ecuador to lay him to rest, finally. And so while it was beautiful that she was able to see friends and family was able to come together for this, right? Bittersweet, right? Because it was technically honoring her brother's wishes, but still having to actually for the first time grieve, like really, really grieve and really, really mourn, right? But when she came back, everything was happening with this new job for me, right? And I tell her all the details. Like it all felt like it was a blur to her. And I think it's because of all the madness that was going on.
Yeah.
And we're talking about it. And it's so funny. And I'm like, I thought about it. No, and listen, no shade to my mom. Everybody knows I love La Charo. But it just put so much into perspective for me, right? As soon as I said, "Oh, I'm gonna be working at this place," and this is how much I'm making, man. It's another level for me, but I'm very proud of it. I negotiated for myself, and you know what? I want to give you guys a shout out.
Advocated for yourself.
I advocate. I want to give a shout out to the episode y'all just recently had. I'm gonna link it on the show notes with Sunny, your guest, because she be preaching, don't she? Yes, she talked about the advocacy, and I want to give that recognition to that because I did that this time. I really stood my ground for what I wanted, and I knew I wanted it, and I knew that it was not going to serve what I wanted. I was not going to take it. That's so amazing. I want to give a recognition to that. We're going to link that episode on the show notes, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But you're welcome. I made the mention to my mom, and the first thing my mom said was, she goes, "Ay, qué bueno, Deicita." She goes, "Oh my God, that's so great, Deicita," right? She goes, "Now you should really fall in love with a doctor." And I'm like,
Grey's Anatomy.
Alignment.
So, well, yeah, because of the grades, sure. But I looked at my mom. And I said, Mommy, I go, I'm telling you about my wins, about my success. And the first thing you can think of is tell me, yeah, to get married, to get a man who's a doctor, right? And she goes, what's the problem? They make money too. And I laugh, right? And I go, you know what's funny to why I never wanted an attorney or a doctor? And I laughed. And then she was like, oh my God, Daisy. And she started laughing. I said, Mommy, every recollection I have of all the novellas I watched growing up, the doctor and the lawyer were the husbands, and they was always cheating and fucking up on their wife and the kids. So why would I want to go running in the industry that I'm in the level that I'm at, to want to marry a doctor or even come across an attorney and want to marry him? And it's not to bash all the doctors or all the attorneys. It's just to highlight the fact of what my understanding has been, right? Unintentionally. It's been since my childhood, a certain point of view that I've had of what success is, of what passion is in what you do, of what making money looks like, and all the shit that aligns with it. Because remember what I said early on, our social media was our TV. We didn't have social media. What we needed to find out in the now was happening on TV. We did not have anything having to do with the internet really growing up, right? For me, it was like, Ma, that's not necessarily an automatic happiness. Me marrying a doctor doesn't mean I'm going to be absolutely happy or a guarantee on it, right? And so this is where I wanted to, align entirely the whole fame, idolism, to the lavish life, the success, the financial stability, what that looks like, and all these relationships all around. That's exactly where I wanted to align it. And for the record, I stand more money, more problems in my book. I will always stand by that. I blame it on every single Mexican telenovela. I'm sorry, guys, but I do.
Well,
that's it.
That makes sense.
That's where I stand. I do want to go into the double or nothing. Okay. And this is on another dose, guys. All right. There are temp jobs out there these days. I want to call it a temp job because, it's a temporary thing that people like to do, be, or feel. And it's being happy. They like to be happy. They like to live in a happy moment. And the reason why I'm calling it a temp job is because these days people make it sound like to feel happy or to be happy is fucking hard work. And I want to dive into that bullshit, okay? The other day, I asked someone about their visualization of feeling and being happy. Yo, lately I've been meeting up with people and I've been having some deep conversations, which is why I was getting drunk, for the record. But I'm not gonna lie. It's like the Casamigos and the Patron just hit and I was dying the next day.
The Casapricos.
Wow. Wow. It tasted so good. I don't know what happened.
It's like,
wow.
It'll
bad decisions, baby.
Wow. I was shocked.
Not too fucking much.
Not you. I'm talking about me, the whole.
Not you. He was talking about.
Damn.
Hit dogs holler.
See, yeah, baby. Sue screaming.
Listen.
it's gonna encourage the dog, baby. So it's given. The fuck?
Oh, shout out to Casamigos. They're not paying, nor have they sponsored. Baby. But shout out to them.
I'm off that. No, never again.
Never again?
Yeah.
It was death, right?
It was
it's a little bit of a lot of things.
Yeah, fantasies, dungeons, dragons, all those.
Oh, those are the best ones. That's one. That one's called Hennessy for me.
We had a wild night.
Anything in the form of tequila.
The two of us, baby. We were like, we were comparing notes. I said, "Bitch, me too." Wow.
We don't need to talk about that off this episode though, because that's not part of the double dose this week, y'all. We talking about happiness, a different type of happiness.
Sober happiness. Sober
happiness. All right. I want to give a warning with this conversation.
Okay.
The reality is, these days, feeling happy or being happy is a temporary feeling. Do we agree? Yes or no?
To an extent, yeah.
Okay, to an extent. How far does that extent go for you?
So for me, now that I'm visual and I watch people, their happiness is contingent upon another person most times. Like, you'll base your happiness off of, we're talking about relationships, and you're not happy unless you have somebody, and that person probably isn't even serving you their best self, but giving you what Courtney likes to say, their representative. And that's what you love, and that's where your happy lies. And like you said, it's temporary, because once you get out of that, then you're back to being miserable. I don't subscribe to that.
Okay.
I'm happy being me by myself.
Oh, yes.
People will tell you it's a privilege to be around me.
Oh, okay. Talk your shit, Rima. Yes.
I'm gonna always be myself. If I'm not happy, it's not because of somebody else. It's about what I'm not doing that I feel like I could be better at. I don't place my happiness on others. That's not what I do. That's not how I grew up. That's not how I was raised. That's not happening over here. But for other people, they're happy rest with somebody else.
Yeah, I would definitely add to that. I would say it's a temporary feeling if you allow it to be. Because sometimes I can speak for myself. I don't live in the moments.
Okay.
So
what does that mean?
So for example,
let's elaborate.
So something would happen to me, like I'll accomplish a goal, and okay, I did that next, and it's like, no, this happened.
You don't sit in it.
Like let's sit in it. Let's acknowledge this, and let's celebrate that, because you did that. Like, you got to celebrate yourself, because happiness comes from you. It shouldn't be based on a person, but some people have because they're not having they don't communicate. They're not saying what they need, so therefore they cheat. Like Homeboy, that you were talking about earlier. And if you don't love yourself, you're always going to be looking for outside sources. I just said this earlier before I came in this house. If you can't love you definitely can't fucking love me, because I love myself. It took me a while to get here, and nobody that comes into my spaces ever want to shake the table on that, because I don't need a partner. It's a want. If it doesn't come, cool. But I know that with me, I'm my whole self all the time. It's either you rock with it or you don't. And if you don't rock with it, that's cool. My mom says stay over there. But over here, we're good. So I feel like happiness is pretty much what it has to come in from yourself. Like, because you can't be like, hey, I want to feel happy. But you also can get happiness and joy from the people who love on you, who's pouring into you, and also who's in your circle. Because if you have people in your, like, whether like they're your chosen family or like your actual family, if they're draining you, you don't need to be around that. And I want to say we definitely had a thing for Rima this past Sunday. And the people who were here who probably met us the first time were like, yo, I love their vibe, because we are very intentional with our space and the people that we have in our spaces. And we got that from Sunny, where it's like, hey, whoever don't fit, they can't be in the space, because it fucks the vibe up. So happiness can be a temporary feeling if you let it. But most definitely, if you are, let's say, changing a career or going into a new job, or you bought a new car, or whatever you did, it's okay to give yourself a pat on the back, because you did that. Whether it took you 5 years or 2 years, celebrate the things that you do for you, and let the happiness live longer than it should.
Come on.
That's a whole preach right there.
And you ain't even say
I was going, you see, I'm not showing me up with the editing. I'm sorry, I do say I'm a lot on the pod, but she edited the show. She knows.
I be stressed out, like, goddamn.
Oh, I be trying to figure out my words. Goddamn.
You want to get a script,
baby. Write it out, baby.
What does it say?
I know, yeah. Why? Not too much, baby.
It's a school night.
Not it's a school day. Sip wine again.
Okay, correct. Because if we gonna do right.
What kind of wine is that?
Which one, mine?
No, I'm saying.
Oh, her.
Mine? So
be nice to me,
not
bitch.
Embarrassing at all. People still give this shit out for souvenirs.
Oh, for sure.
So I forgot where I went, but I got 2 of these.
Okay.
And we're on to number 2.
Okay, crack it.
Come on, crack it. We love that.
We love that. Cheers.
In the pores.
We love that. I'm just hearing that on the mic.
Listen, first of all, because we're gonna be on brand here, is my glass that one of my former coworkers gave me that says "Double Dose of Raw Talk." I put it on my IG story. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Yes.
Come on with the representation.
And I just want y'all to know, I got two when I was out in Philly for my birthday. Yes. So one is on my desk in my room, and the other one is right on the living room. Nobody better touch it. That's
nobody better.
Period.
Nobody better. I'm just saying.
I forgot we gave you that. Oh my God. I wanted me a little serious.
I know. I didn't. I put that to you. So I put everything to you. So let's not even go there. Yes. I'll be back out there. I was supposed to go out there for the festival that Sunny got, but that was actually the week I started the new job. So a lot of changes, but I saw it was amazing. So I'll be out there soon enough for the next event, God willing, and definitely for the annual, because I'm sure she's gonna rock out with an annual.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna be out there.
Yeah, we'll talk.
We're gonna talk. We're gonna talk for sure. Because things like that. Yeah.
When's the plan of you coming sometime soon? Like, we gonna talk about that later?
When am I coming? What?
Yeah. Is it in like a couple weeks, couple months? You need some time in with the jobby job? Like, what's happening?
I do need some time in with the jobby job, but I'm gonna let you know because I'm gonna need to escape.
You got weekends,
but not in a bad way.
You got weekends?
Yes, I do.
Okay, you don't live that far.
No, I don't. We could totally make it work. Yeah,
and we gotta take a trip out there anyway. So
yeah. So we gonna talk. Okay, we are, because things like that make me happy. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. Come on,
yes.
Yeah, come on. Segue.
Segue. But okay, so the reason I wanted to highlight is so fantastic that Rima and Court hit it off with that concept of the loneliness versus being alone. I do find it at the age that I'm at, right? And listen, I am not old at all whatsoever. I am 36 years young, okay? But I find it that there are people who are around my age or older. We are still young. We are still feeling great, looking great. But there's this one thing that not all of us are okay with, and that's being alone, right? And I think it's because people align being alone with being lonely. Correct. And I don't think that's one and the same, right?
It's not at all.
Right. At all. And so to a few people that I know, not a few, a lot. All right, I was trying to be nice. A lot of people that I know.
It's gonna modest.
Many.
Yeah, many. These are people who have the success, who have the six figures, who in their industry are known. They've made a name for themselves in our very humble city of New York. Okay. They have what I would consider, you've done fantastic for yourself. You are successful. You have your home, you have your car, you have your safe haven. You've worked hard for this. You have a career. You've done all of this. You live a very, very free life, and everything is great. From what you show me, from what I'm able to see, and I see it face to face. But then there's this part of these people who cannot be alone because they automatically feel lonely.
Right.
And I feel very strongly, right? Two things. One, that a lot of the time when you keep bad company, that's what's going to bring down all of your success. Okay.
That part.
And two, I feel like we really need to learn and take very seriously when we enter this beautiful age of 30s, what it means to really be happy. It's a beautiful fucking age. It's a beautiful fucking age. But we really need to analyze what it is and evaluate what it is to be happy and what it takes to reach that ultimate level.
Right.
I do think so. I do, because I'm going to be honest. Again, I'm going to line all of it right now.
Come on,
I take a lot of pride where I'm at. I do. Right? But the fact is, my mama still felt I was missing a husband. And I don't know if she aligns that with, is that what Daisy needs to be at her ultimate level of happiness?
Like, you needed this add-on of a relationship
to
bring everything together.
Right. Or does she understand what my definition of ultimate level of happiness is? Because I'm gonna be honest, I haven't made the best choices. let's say financially, let's say like 3 years ago, right? When things were taking a turn, then pandemic happened and whatnot. And I had to make some serious decisions. I did. But you know what? All in time, patient is a virtue. God is always there. And I feel like now, like this, I could fix a lot of those decisions, right? I feel like I'm in a position that I could do that, right? Thank you, God. Like,
Amen.
there's so many things that I'm not at my proudest in having had to make executive decisions that were probably not the best, but it was the better of the options there, right?
Right.
And so, was it happy moments then? No, it wasn't. The whole world was upside down, and I had to make tough decisions in certain areas, right? But am I overall happy? Yes, I am. I would love to, and not that I would love to go back to this because I wouldn't. It was very fucking dark times. But I would love to go back to it just to be able to have that reminder of what that feels like.
Right.
In my lowest point, I literally felt like there was a huge sinkhole in my chest because I was being drained, because I was being consumed with the shit show that was happening in my life, right?
Right.
I was
Right.
depressed. It was disgusting, disgusting. You literally feel this sense of emptiness in you. And I am proud to say I have not felt that shit in so fucking long. Years.
Yeah.
Years. My kid is 15. I haven't felt that probably in 13 years. Okay.
Wow. That's amazing.
And to get to a point now of an ultimate level of what I think is really pure fucking happiness, like, respectfully, ladies and gentlemen, if it's a matter of a man and getting some dick, that's a phone call away.
Because dick is everywhere. Dick is
Right.
everywhere.
Like,
And is.
if I'm gonna go to that point, if I'm gonna go to the point of, oh, but don't you need this? Yes, like any one of us does. Sometimes we need that. Our bodies need it too.
And
But that's just a matter of choice.
Sometimes the dick don't be doing it. You might need to, like, do your toys out or something. Because I'm.
First of all, I just want to say my toy. Use your hand.
Yeah. Yeah.
My toy sleeps with me. Anybody who knows me knows that
I know
there's
that's the
two
fuck
pillows
right.
on my bed. It's a queen size bed. People are like, why the fuck you need a queen size? First of all, have you seen me? This very voluptuous plus size woman needs a queen size bed. But second of all,
what you think?
My
I'm
toys.
Sleeping in a twin? The fuck?
That's what I'm saying. But my toys get the other side.
Listen.
For me, it's the snacks.
Listen, and that's where my ultimate level of happiness is. It vibrates.
Period. It's giving new vibration. Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
I'm about to play that song.
Baby. Period.
I need to invest in me.
Because let me tell you. Yeah, get you one, girl. It's everything.
I have to get one.
I have a recommendation. I'm gonna hit you off with it. I'm gonna have a listen. I was out with the girls having drinks last week. Shout out to my girls. And I was like, girls, you gotta try this one. And I pulled out the picture. And she was like, what that shit do? I said, let me tell you, it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 buttons. These 2 buttons do this. These 2 buttons do that. This one's doing this at the same time. And this little shit right here is going like this while this one is going like this. And she's like,
oh, wow. I think I love.
She goes,
yeah.
She goes, the thing is doing all of that at once. I said, yes. I'm gonna send you a picture of it so you can see it. Because this is one thing I do recommend. I got it. They're in Philly, Erotic Boudoir. I had them as a guest on the show.
Oh,
yes, they're out of Philly.
that.
I'm gonna send you their page. Shout out to Erotic Boudoir. They're amazing. Nick always comes through when I slide into the DMs that I need a new toy, and she comes through. And one time, one of my toys died, and I needed one fast. And that shit came real fast. No pun intended, but pun intended. Real fast.
And then you did. You followed.
And then I did. Yeah. So shout out to Nick. Shout out to Erotic Boudoir. But yeah, they got a good selection there. Wow. All right. So before we go into the last segment of the show, I want to know if you can, at this moment in time, say, by just saying one word, what is your ultimate level of happiness in this moment? What would it be?
One word?
Just one word.
Oh, you stopped me there.
I know, one word.
Okay, maybe like a sentence. One sentence.
I don't know. Let me think.
Wow. This was not on out. This was not on the outline.
It was not.
It's not.
You
It
stumped
was not.
us.
But this is why I see. I only give an out. First of all, I still give outlines. But second of all, I'm gonna give y'all like the surface.
Yeah.
I'm always gonna give the surface.
Wow. Wow.
Isn't it crazy? I did this on purpose, by the way.
Because I want to say something, but I'm trying to figure out how to word it.
That's okay. But isn't it crazy, right?
Yeah, it's wild.
And what was the question one more time?
If you can describe and define right now your ultimate level of happiness in this moment, I said choose one word to do it, but I'm going to give you one sentence.
Okay.
It could be anything in your life right now that would just define that ultimate level of happiness.
I would say taking care of my responsibilities and and also helping other people do the same.
Yes,
because
I like that.
Well, this is not my sentence, but I'm elaborating because I feel like you're in a space where you're like, if you're able to show somebody the way, a lot of times we get into our own way, and if we can't see it, like if we like D, like off mic we talk, like that imposter syndrome is very real, and you may not. We are the worst to ourselves in our head, and we'll stop a lot. We'll stop a lot of our goals and what we manifest because we don't see ourselves doing it because somebody may have told us that one time that we weren't ready. But until you jump out there and do it, you'll never fucking know. Because this year of my life has been the rough. Like the beginning of this year was rough. And if you would have told me in January of this year that I would be here, I would have been like, "What? Who? Me? No, you're lying." So
Talk your shit.
I'm just saying.
I love to hear it.
Rima,
that was great. So I have a word.
Oh, come on, word.
Okay. Oh.
Growth.
Yes.
Oh, we loved it. That's called growth. Yes.
Yes. Yes. I love it.
And I mean, we're talking about alignment, but just transition to.
Okay.
I recently turned 31, and I feel more grounded.
Okay,
I would
words.
say I'm learning how to express myself a little bit more without being too crazy.
Abrasive.
And I think abrasive or
crazy
I
is a
don't
bad
like the
word.
word. I don't like aggressive, but
yeah.
I think that growth has a lot to do with it and being in a different area and stage that I like for myself, and it's only going to get better. So
I love this.
Guys, can I add a word? Learning.
Of course.
Learning.
Ooh. Yes.
And not being afraid to still be taught. Because you don't know.
Come on now.
That was good.
You gotta bounce.
That was y'all. This is why y'all a dynamic duo. Name a better duo.
Tell the people.
Name a better one. There is none. And don't say Kim and Kanye because they done. And PB and J don't count. Period. Okay.
I mean, PB and J is good.
I don't even like.
I mean, it is, but
you don't like J?
I'm saying.
I'm saying.
Wow.
I'm not a jelly fruit.
So the reason why I asked that question, and I encourage my listeners to sit with that question and ask themselves that question.
It's a good ass question.
Okay. It's because somebody asked me that motherfucking question and I was stunned.
Yeah.
I was
stunned to speak.
I was too stunned to speak. But you know what led me into being able to identify it and realize that I have been in a good space for quite some time now? It has been my recent journey with those 7 day self-care challenge and mindfulness challenge that I joined. And it's been me really dedicating letters and like journaling passages to myself. I have never written to myself as much as I've written to myself recently. I have never spoken to myself, acknowledging all the great things that I'm doing for me, for my home, for my family, for my son, all the baby steps. And I realized that in everything I've written down, the ultimate level of happiness is that for the first time in a very long time for me, is
Yeah.
that I wholeheartedly feel like I am in not just a peaceful place, not just a strong place, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like I am finally in a safe space. And I wanted to say the word safe because for a very long time, even with my decisions, I wasn't always sure if I felt safe with myself. I wasn't always sure if I knew what was best. And that's separate from being confident, because a bitch is always going to be confident. I'm going to always walk into a room and people going to know I'm there. Okay. But is, have I truly felt safe with me? You know, we be talking about shit. Oh, do I feel safe with that person in my relationship? Fuck that. To the point that we brought up before. How Rima and Corey, you both have said, like, loving oneself and knowing what we're gonna take and not take, right? Well, do I feel safe with me? Do I really wholeheartedly trust me? Am I finally in that ultimate level of, and that's happiness there. That's me saying, I know I can trust me. I know that I've learned so much and I've grown so much and I've really paid attention to every life experiences.
Yeah.
I'm no longer sitting there and saying, God, why? Why me? I was saying that too much. That's when I lost my faith. I was saying that a lot, right? I really learned how to not just trust the way things have unfolded, but to really learn how to trust me and feel safe with me all over again. And that is where my ultimate level of happiness is at. And it took me a few journal passages, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen overnight.
No, it took me a few to even realize it, to be honest with you. It took me a few times to really sit there and put that into thought and process it. And shout out to my therapist who asked me that. Shout out to my therapist who did ask me that. Because it, you know, to think that someone would sit there and tell me, and again, no shame or shade to my mama. I love my mom to death. But to sit there and say, oh, well, all you need is this, that's not all that I need. See, I am in a very safe space. I'm in a very peaceful space. I feel very successful and I feel still very passionate of everything that I do. But there's still a lot more I want to get done. The difference today is that my confidence is at a whole other level and I feel extra super duper safe with myself. That I know what I can and cannot get done and how much risk I'm willing to take when I'm doing it. And that's why I wanted to lead with, what is your ultimate level of defining your happiness for you? What does that look like? I think, for the record, let me just give that recognition to you, Rima. Growth, it's something that I actually experienced at around 31, also 31, 32. It is. And it's a beautiful fucking thing to go through because people start seeing it and you don't even intend for them to see it. You're not even working extra hard for people to see it. It just naturally happens. Yep. Exactly. It just naturally happens. And that's fucking beautiful. And Court, shout out to you for always being willing to teach people what you do know and to learn with people at the same damn time, because not a lot of people know how to find the balance in that. Some of us are a little too hard-headed to do that. And I want to give you a shout out to that, because I know whenever the fuck I have a question and I ask you, you come through for me. You be helping me. So yes, okay. I want to give that recognition to you both.
Thank you.
Because I fucking love y'all. That's why.
I mean,
so yeah.
You had your finger up. Did you want to say something?
Yeah, I was going to say, I wanted to ask you. Sorry, not to take over the show, but writing those like that passage to yourself. How did that make you feel? Because I know that, like, for example, somebody told me to write down what I've done, and seeing things on paper. Like, I did not know that I have had a hand in producing a lot of episodes for various shows. And I said, well, goddamn, because I'm like I said, I'm not living in I'm just kind of working. It's my job, so I do it. And it's like, damn, it's given almost 200 episodes I've been produced, and it's like, wow. That outside of my own, I'm like, wow, that's okay. But because I feel like it's my job. I'm doing a job. It's like I don't really take the moment to, like, live in that? So when you wrote that down in your your passage or whatever, like in your journal, did it make you feel like, damn, I forgot about that? Like I did that.
Yes. I actually it was a moment for me because when I wrote those things down, another moment of realization happened to me, right? And I'm not gonna get emotional because I've already drank almost 2 little bottles of wine. And this is something that I'm coping with, and I'm going to probably share it on a Solita episode in the future. But another moment of realization came to me, right? When I was listing what I've accomplished as a healthcare professional, when I was listing, right, and writing to myself about all my accomplishments as a creative. Um, and I realized everything that I have accomplished, that I've achieved, that I've completed, that I have created. Because, bitch, that shit I created in this industry too of healthcare.
Period.
That other motherfuckers took the credit for, and it's okay. It's all right. I'm gonna let them live. But in writing it down, I realized then that I have truly been, a person who has been multi-talented in more than one ways, in more than one area,
Right.
and in more than one space. And the reason why that was so important to realize in that moment is because here I was in some parts of my life, some times of my life, some moments, feeling like, oh my God, I'm so overwhelmed. Oh my God, I'm doing so much. Oh my God, this. And in that moment, it was like, was it really I'm overwhelmed, or was it stress? It wasn't that. It was really that I was working so hard, doing so many things, and I wasn't giving myself the credit that I needed to, until I had the moment to realize how much I accomplished, achieved, and completed and created. And it was only recently that I took it all the way back. I said, hold up, you mean to tell me I figured out how to pay for a $10,000 divorce and finish my master's program? Oh, okay. Come the fuck through. And I was a single mother? Wow. And I did that going to school online? Oh, and working a full-time job? Damn, I did all of that. I achieved all of that because I didn't settle, and because I wanted more, and because I wanted to do better for my family. Right? So this was me going all the way back to all these accomplishments and realizing so much. Everything that I have been doing, I just never gave myself the credit for it. I never gave myself the recognition for it. And I think what it's taught me in that moment was just how important it is for me to praise me and for me to celebrate me. And that's why I did a post not so long ago on IG, and I said, this is not bragging. This is me celebrating my wins. This is what it is. There's a thin line between the whole bragging and celebrating wins. Or if Gotti brags, dumb piece of shit, he brags. He brags about his dirty little mess, right? He's bragging because he thinks it's his moment, his soul documentary. He could do that. It's not me bragging. It's me celebrating all my wins, and I don't need to drag nobody for me to celebrate.
That's the difference.
Indeed.
That's the difference.
That's the difference.
We had a talk on the phone when you said it. And I said, you know what? It's not bragging.
Talk your shit.
I may feel like that, but if you're actually doing the things, it's not bragging. I'm just saying I did this.
And
check it out.
You should celebrate it. You should praise it.
But you're not talking or downplaying anybody else's accomplishments. It's simply all about you. And if somebody sees it as braggy or braggadocious, then that's something that they have to sit with. That's something that's their issue. I'm talking about me. I didn't mention you. And it's because I didn't mention that you probably think I'm bragging, but I'm not. Right. Like you said, I'm celebrating me.
Right.
And I'm going to always celebrate me.
You okay, come through, Rima. We definitely celebrating you over here. We are. Always. You know what I realized too? This goes to show you, when we learn how to do this for ourselves, right? We don't need someone else to celebrate us. And it's not that it's not great when someone else does. Thank you. Thank you so much for acknowledging me. Thank you. Like, that's such a sweet gesture. That is. See, I don't have the expectation of someone, not even my future partner, to automatically celebrate me or automatically praise me. But if I share the news with that person and they do in their own way, it's a thank you for that. Because guess what? I already did all the celebrating I needed to do for myself. I know how to feel from here, from where once upon a time it felt like a very empty sinkhole in here in my chest. I know now how to feel so fulfilled with what I do accomplish. And I want to give a shout out to a key person in my life who showed me how to be that way. And it's not to say at all, by no means, to anybody who may be struggling in this area or who doesn't know if they want to or who chooses not to. And it's not an automatic like, oh, you should. But in my story, in my experience, my kid is who taught me how to be that way, because I had to learn how to be my own fucking cheerleader in certain moments because he still needed me cheerleading him on to the point. And I'm listen, this was the moment of realization I had, but again, I'm gonna deep dive into that in a Solita episode because now I'm a bitch is gonna cry. I look at him now and I'm just like, yo, the kid is 15. There's not much he needs me for, because everything he does and everything he sets his goal on, he accomplishes, he completes, and he creates it himself, and he strategizes. This little mother flower knows what it is to do fasting. A bitch can't wake up and not have fucking coffee. This little mother flower be fasting, talk about, ma, it's already 8 o'clock. I can't eat. What? You out of your goddamn mind if you think I'm not gonna eat. But the point is, there's so much I admire that kid for. I can't. No. There's so much I admire that kid for. And I want to believe it's because maybe perhaps he's seen me do certain things.
To you.
Not maybe perhaps. Not maybe perhaps it is because he's watching the example.
He has a great example.
Listen, I'm gonna leave y'all with this dose, and then y'all better tune in the future. There was a moment that I said, "What does he need me for?" And it was a sad moment for me.
Sidebar, you all. I'm 32. Hold on, I'm 32.
31, 32, and
baby.
My mama asked me if I need something. Yes,
for sure. And
I can eventually do it, but if you got it right now,
I need that. Come off that. Oh, and my dad, you didn't call me back yet, bro. You went to DR weeks ago. I know you're back home. Call me back.
He didn't even bring you the white Henny or the Rugal?
Nothing. Regular ass.
No, we got
a whole show. He gonna send topics for discussion. Sir, not too much. Call me the fuck back, Dad.
Oh yeah, that too.
You want to be on the show? Someone you gonna be there on the show, or being the date of the year on the show, and you not call me back.
You know what?
Not too much, Dad.
I heard you. I heard you though, but I heard you, and that makes me feel all the way better.
I was a little triggered.
That makes me feel better because again, that aligns so much with what makes me happy. Where am I with my happiness and with all the roles I fulfilled, including motherhood, right? And so it was a little bit of a sad moment, and I may overshare in a couple of episodes on a Solita later on. But it was definitely a moment, right? But it was definitely me realizing just how much and how important it has been for me to acknowledge myself. And that's definitely something that I encourage everyone to do, and not ponder over that question, but really put thought into it. I totally caught Rima and Court off guard, and so did my therapist catch me off guard. But y'all got time.
Baby.
Y'all got time. Y'all could sit there, grab a notebook, grab a nice little pen, a highlighter if you need to, so you can highlight certain notes. But that's where that thought process came. I mean, I'm saying I still work with highlighters. And also for the record, the next time I come to Philly, I got an extra bottle of Brugal. I'm gonna give y'all a taste of DR.
Please do.
We like a little taste. Never mind.
It's probably gonna be for the happy hour.
I'm gonna say some wild shit. Ooh, Lord.
It don't matter, but whatever. All right.
Not too much. But
all right, now we're going to go into the last segment of the show, and this is the overdose. And this is usually where we share something we are completely overjoyed with or completely over it. Okay. And it could be about anything. When I say anything, I mean anything.
You want to go first?
Who wants to go first?
Yeah, because this happened a couple of days ago. I had posted something to my story, and there was this girl on TikTok who said that we're going through a sassy man apocalypse. I'm not sure if y'all saw that video.
I did see it.
But a guy, she was minding her business. A guy came up to her in the bar or club or wherever she was and was like, if you buy me a drink, I'll buy you a drink, or some crazy shit like that. And she was just like, what? So I wake up 5 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes I woke up before my alarm, so I like to scroll to wake myself up. I go through my messages, and there's this DM from somebody that I used to be involved, talk to, unfortunately. This motherfucker says this.
Oh, we read.
And I quote, yeah.
Verbatim.
Fucking right. Didn't y'all fight for equal rights? We live in a what you bring to the table era. Basically, that's what he's saying. Testing her to see how she act, and she failed miserably. That's why she's still stuck where she at, looking a mess with no nigga to call. Oops, her bad. What?
Wow.
First
Rima,
of all,
what did you do to hurt that man?
What did she do to hurt him? He talking about she look a mess.
He sounded like you hurt him.
So I put the classic meme of Waka Flocka. Okay, like what the fuck?
Not the face.
Because why are you at 5 o'clock in the morning texting me this paragraph about something I posted on my page about a girl we both don't even know? It was funny. Everybody knows. First of all, we kind of are going through a sexy nigga apocalypse, and he's Exhibit A. But I posted on my story because it's funny, and however you take it, you take it. So I just put the okay, and then he says this to me. That's why you ain't land your big millionaire yet.
Oh, you said what I said, Rima. You hurt him. What did I say?
I said, oh, okay. Then he wrote something else.
There's more.
He just kept typing. He said, "This nigga is." Ooh, please.
That's not what she said, guys.
You gotta understand, we're the prize. We're the ones making the millions and making the world go round.
Wow.
Men are not females. But good morning, Rima. You'll get it one day. All I did was like all of these messages because I'm not going back and forth with you. You proved her whole ass point. You're in my DM writing dissertations, and I don't give a fuck.
Wow.
Sir, and how do you know what I do and do not have? I haven't talked to you in years. You haven't seen me in years. You don't know if I'm sitting on $1 million or not. I'm not, but that's not the point.
But you could be, baby.
But I could.
Millionaire dick. Coming soon.
Oh, heard you.
Yes. And you don't know who I'm fucking, who I'm talking to, who I'm in a relationship with. Y'all don't know shit. I be on social media to play around. So I am over it with these sassy ass niggas.
Wow.
Go away.
I may add to that. I'm just saying. I wasn't gonna talk about this, but I may just do it. Court, you got something?
The fuck.
Yeah. So I'm gonna make this quick, but maybe not too quick because I'm over it. Your intention will always get you far. I just want to say to the people or to the men, just whether straight, gay, bi, purple, black, when you text good morning to somebody you're entertaining and they say good morning back, have something else in the talk.
Just said this.
We're not gonna be good morning every day. Are you a fucking Walmart greeter? What the fuck?
Wow.
Let me know what do you want to do. Do you want to go somewhere?
Yeah,
like nigga, I'm at work. What are you doing? Chilling. Okay, next. I'm done.
Bye. Block.
Have a plan, but for them,
intentional.
Yeah, because for the men who was like, hey, listen, I'm doing this. I want to do this. You should come do this. I'm on my way.
Or learning what you like. Oh, I seen that you did this and that. I would love to take you to do that.
Because that's going to get you far. But doing what you're doing, good morning and nothing, or good afternoon, and you don't say nothing. Like if I say good morning to one of y'all, you're going to say good morning back and, oh, what you doing? We're going to have a conversation. These motherfuckers out here, it's giving very much, oh, why are you here? What do you want from me?
Hey, May.
It's not giving interested. It's giving, I want to block you immediately.
It's giving, I just want to keep you
around.
Text messages.
No.
Yeah.
But then when I post my Summer Walker gift that I post all the time, it's like that's about me. Probably because you're acting stupid. I see you all with homeboy at the bar. But you saw me, but you saw me good morning. Confused. So when I go out with people and it's like, oh, what about me? What about you? Open the door, close the door. I am so confused. What's going on? Help me.
Mary. Help me.
So contrary.
Isn't it?
Wow. I'm done.
Isn't it?
Where did it get the fuck?
Yeah, the fuck going on?
We're about to finish the last of the wine, and then I'm gonna hit y'all with a double dose on this overdose. Okay, so to add to Rima's, cheers. To add to Rima, some of y'all ain't got no business sliding into our DMs when you just had your second child and they're still considered an infant. Okay. If you're listening to this podcast, because I think you are, because you know I have a show. You know exactly how I feel. And so whole ass married men. Listen, this is why this is full circle for me in alignment, like I said from the beginning. Okay.
These married men,
I am not here.
Men be the worst ones. They be
they be the most single. First of all,
and I kind of want a husband. I don't know.
Okay, wait a minute. I there are some married men who claim that they like to wear jewelry and will go and get other rings so they camouflage their wedding band.
Throw you off. Deception, disgrace,
deceit. First of all, if your wife falls for that shit, that's a problem. Now,
first of all, I'm being yours on the way out the door.
First of all, it's giving turn the wings around. It's sophisticated
looking.
First of all,
if like we gonna have problems, and then they purposely like pose with the very sassy flashy rings and
sassy flashy rings,
and it's just like you know,
yeah, Jesus,
yeah. Yeah, but so yes, married men, y'all need to do better. Stop sliding into DMs of us single women talking about, oh, you just want to like have fun, right? When you should go, I don't know, maybe burp the baby and make sure you put your other child to bed. You know, what did you have wipes? Like, did you order the wipes? Did you order them and set them up for pickup from Target? Because your wife don't got time to do all this bullshit. I'm just saying. Wow. And
where's the infant?
Hello. You know
a
shortage, baby. Girl, a shortage.
There's a shortage. We don't got time. Yeah, we breastfeeding now. They all got to breastfeed. We can't do this. Okay.
Well, the ones who like massage your wife titty or something. Get the fuck away from me.
We need the formula for those who are really having a hard time. We can't just be throwing formula out there. No, not for your cheating antics. No, absolutely not. Okay, so that's one. And to add to Court's and yes, these are both on a double dose. I'm completely over this shit.
Yeah.
You know, the whole good morning beautiful. This one goes to another ex of mine that would always do the good morning beautiful bullshit. Who recently decided to advise that, you know, he wanted the world and the skies with me, right? Which we was not falling for that shit, but whatever.
Not later.
Way it gets better. You know, sliding into the messages, you know, oh, you look so beautiful. Oh, I'm gonna keep this picture. Blah 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 blah. Oh, okay, cool. You're far, so am I, whatever. And all of a sudden is, oh, but you know I have a girlfriend, right? Sir, where does that get included in the good morning beautifuls or let me keep this picture? And so I say that to say, right? The mere fact yes, Rima's confused. The mere fact that I am 36 years old, let me make this a full alignment, and there are 40-year-olds, 40-plus-year-old men
plus
in relationships, in marriages, with infants, and with roommates who happen to be their girlfriends, and they're still playing all these games. It's a motherfucking problem. And so I'm just completely over it. And I'm going to tell you which part I am over it. Here goes your alignment. Because I don't like to be lied to nor cheated on. I like the truth and I like to be allowed to make my necessary executive decisions. I like to design how my relationships are going to be, knowing all the facts up front. Right. I do not like liars.
Or the choice being taken away from you.
Right, exactly.
Absolutely.
Like, give me the option.
I don't like it. Make sure I don't get blindsided. It is worse for you if I get blindsided with some bullshit.
You know what, dude?
Than if you just tell me the truth.
This goes back to what we said earlier in the show. Let's give me a segue. Mm-hmm. Communication.
And conversation.
Period.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm just saying.
Let's give it a title.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what?
Or Sassy Flashy Rain.
Yeah, that was funny.
One of those. Yeah. You know what, ladies and gentlemen? Y'all about to find out. Y'all about to find out when you are tuning into this episode. Well, guys, we've come to the end of the show.
Not in sync. Not saying the same thing at the same time. Sickening. This is why the girls hate us.
Absolutely.
Wow.
That's their bad though.
Sorry.
We're good.
I can't. Y'all, it was so great to have y'all here. I am so tipsy and I'm supposed to wake up early to go to the gym.
Baby, me too. Well,
I gotta go to work, but not the gym.
I gotta go to the gym. If I don't go to the gym, Rick is gonna fuck me up. I gotta go to the gym.
Oh, shout out to Rick.
Go to the gym, baby.
Shout out to Rick. Hey, Rick.
Well, yeah. Can you tell my listeners where they can find the RCC pod?
Well, let's do our thing. So it's Court
and Rima,
and we are Confidential Hoe. You can actually follow us at RCC Pod on Instagram. You can also visit the website, which is redcuppod.com, to find all the episodes from 1 to now, which I think is like
63.
Very good, because I almost forgot. And yeah. You can also follow our individual pages as Keeping It Court with 2 T's. She'll put it on the notes below, and then also.
And it's Rima Baby with 2 Y's and an underscore.
And we drop every Tuesday.
Yes.
Because Rima is the editor now, so baby, she's doing the thing.
If you're giving Tuesday evening,
yes, Tuesday
I'm gonna
nights.
try to get back to Tuesday morning, but you know, I have a job. I'll be a little tired, so extend me some grace.
Yeah, so come.
But every Tuesday,
hang out with us, and we're going to get some reels out. I have been busy.
Yeah.
With launching shows.
Mm-hmm.
Once I get myself together, I will have some content on the page. We apologize, but we do have a recent reel with our friend
of the show,
Moneyback Mo. What rhymes? Come on, rappers. Period. From Car Combos Podcast. He recently posted something with us on there, which is from our most recent reel. So check us out on the page. But you should see more content from us coming soon because we're trying to get back on track.
Yes.
We
would love for you guys to listen, rate, review, subscribe, follow.
All the things. All the good things. All the good things. Okay. Wow. Okay, in sync. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we be
all right.
You see it?
Yeah, I do. Y'all make me proud. Y'all make me proud. Y'all don't even know. I'm like cheesy and it's not the wine. They really make me proud. I will be out there.
Oh
my God,
come back,
you guys.
Yeah, come back on.
I do.
We'll have more shit that you can embellish on the set because we'll be able to. I'll say something before we. Oh, never. Sorry, off the mic. But yeah, it's given.
No, I am. I will be joining the RCC pod real soon again. Because I gotta serve at the double dose again. But yeah, we're gonna be out there for sure. But as always, thank you guys.
What's the concussion? Conclusion.
Go ahead.
Sorry. Contusion. Sorry. My bad.
Oh yeah,
contusion. Concussion. Contusion.
I will never forget my face when I heard that shit. I was like,
what?
You talking about concussion?
I remember that. Oh my God, that was so funny.
I'm just gonna link several episodes in the show notes at this point because y'all need to go have a whole ass laugh. But as always, guys, this has been another week and another episode on Double Dose of Raw Talk Podcast. I am your host, Misty, and you guys will tune in next week. Bye. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and we are live on your favorite podcast streaming platform. Make sure to tell a friend to subscribe, rate, and review. Talk to you later. Bye.